Hey friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and I am so excited that you decided to take time out of your day to spend with me because here we are for another day of bookmas and another reading vlog of bookmas. Okay, I wasn't lying when I said I was literally stopping recording on the previous vlog and starting this one because we got to keep it moving. We got to read these books, okay? And so I think for this second reading vlog, I'm going to do a mixture as well. I'm going to do some holiday books and some non-holiday books just so I don't burn myself out on the holiday books because I want to keep them coming consistently throughout the month and throughout bookmas. So yeah, I don't have a TBR for this video, but we are not surprised by that. We're just going to do some mood reading, okay? And whatever happens. I'm a little afraid that this reading vlog will not live up to the highly rated books of my last one, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I feel like, I just want to read something good. It doesn't even have to be great. It just needs to be good. Okay. So, yes, let us just hop into these books and see what I decide to read. I don't have my microphone on, so this probably will sound like crap or we won't be able to hear it at all. But I am giggling and kicking my feet. This is so cute. Okay, so I am 50% into The Holidays by Brittainy Cherry. This was not what I was expecting, okay? In this, we are following Holly, who was left at the altar by her fiance at their wedding on Christmas Eve. So it's about a year later, and she is trying to move on, but it's just having a series of bad dates and bad experiences. And she ends up literally running into this man in her building named Kai, who owns a restaurant that is not too far from their apartment building. So eventually Kai offers to kind of coach Holly on what she's doing wrong and how to make her dates more successful, because she is looking for someone to take home for the holidays, just to kind of prove that, she's gotten over the wedding situation and she's not like sad and lonely. This immediately gave off strong Hitch vibes to me. The movie with, I think it's Eva Mendes and Will Smith. And the way I love that movie and the way I ate it up, like, it's literally giving me that, like, if you can just like remember those scenes with Will Smith and shoot, I forgot the man's name. But anyway, just those moments of him like coaching, like, no, absolutely do not do that. Do this. This is what is going wrong, all of that. And just like the kind of frank way that it happens. Like, I really enjoy that. And I'm having a good time with the dating coach aspect of it. But then Kai's coaching works, okay? And Holly starts hitting it off with this guy named Matthew. And all of a sudden, Kai is jealous. He's so jealous. And I am eating up his jealousy. Like, if that's your thing, then you need to pick this up because look, Kai is going through it. And I'm sorry, but I'm enjoying his jealousy. And so, yeah. Kai also has a little brother named Mono, who, he's a teenager. And my only kind of like hang up with this is that Mono seems to be the voice of reason for Kai. And, it's kind of like when kids are in books because basically Kai is Mono's guardian for the better part of the year. And I just don't like when kids are used as the voice of reason for adults. Like, why is he telling you that you need to deal with your trauma? Why? Why is he, as a teenager, giving you advice? It should be the other way around. Like, you should know better, right? And you do know better. So you're getting annoyed that he's like reading you, but like, do better. He shouldn't have to tell you these things. So that was a little bit, or is a little bit, of knowing that Mono is being used in this way, kind of like a, wise beyond his years type situation. But I don't know, that just doesn't necessarily work for me. But it's not anything like that is taking me out of the story or anything. I'm just like, side eye. But this is so sweet. And like the things that they are saying to each other, even as just like friends, like my heart is melting. Okay. Like this is, I'm swooning. This is so sweet. Like I have a cavity. Okay. And I'm really just enjoying how sweet this is, but also at the same time, it is very heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see Kai's relationship with his family and what happened to Kai and why he's so jaded. And also, like, the things that have happened to Maggie with this whole wedding situation and being left at the altar, because there's another layer to that that makes it even worse. And just seeing her trying so hard to come back from this and not wanting to be lonely and just accepting whatever and not even realizing it because she would rather have, like a piece of something than nothing. It's just so heartbreaking. And I find myself getting like really emotional because just relating to I think the things that they are feeling, we all can relate to in some capacity. And it's hitting me right here. It's hitting me right here. Okay. Like, I thought this was going to be a silly, cute, funny rom-com, and it is, but it has a very emotional undertone to it. And I wasn't expecting it, but I am enjoying it. Usually I run away from emotional reads, and that should tell you something about me. But this one snuck up on me. It snuck up on me. Brittainy was sneaky. And, I'm glad that I picked this up because it was just a random Christmas holiday romance that I found. And this is my first Brittainy Cherry. I've heard really good things about her writing, and I'm seeing it now. Now, I'm seeing it for sure. Yeah, I might have to, pick up some more Brittainy Cherry because, I'm having a really good time with this. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I don't know if I said this or not, but I'm 50% in, and all I want to do is sit and read this book today. I'm going to try and finish it today because it's just giving me what I need. And that's all I want to do is sit and read and watch other bookmas videos. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll be back when I have finished, or I have more to say, or whatever. You'll see me soon. Excuse the audio, all the things, whatever. But I just sat down and started back reading and got pissed off because I had just got to this really cute, really sweet, grand, romantic gesture, only to find out. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil it. I just realized that would probably be a spoiler, but that pissed me off a little bit because now it's just very tainted and I'm irritated. Ugh. Okay, y'all. So It's been a couple days since my last update, and yeah, let's catch up. So, I got some kind of like cold situation, and I was out for the count, okay? I was on the couch taking cold medicine and sleeping, and that's all I did for the past 2 days mostly. Let me get it together. I'm trying to figure out the timeline. So I finished the Holly dates like 3 days ago, the night before I got sick or I felt bad. And I woke up and was had the mindset to come and talk to you about it. But I didn't make it very far. I was on the couch all day. So no update. And now, with it being like roughly 3 days since I have actually finished this book, I am nervous to try to talk about this book because the way I don't even know if I remember things. Okay, so I'm just going to start talking and we'll see what happens. Okay, first off, I want to say that this book was very emotional and more. Ow, that hurts. And more emotional than I usually like for my romances, especially holiday romances. I like to keep those light, fluffy, and just fun. And this one really snuck the emotion in, and it was a little heavy. You know what I'm saying? A lot more than what I'm used to. Others probably won't think that, and that is because, like I said earlier, I avoid emotional books. So with this, I think that I really enjoyed both Holly and Kai. Yes. So I enjoyed Holly and Kai as individual characters. I enjoyed the kind of progression of their relationship, but I did have some problems with this that I think kind of hindered me. Well, I don't even want to say that. I had a few things that I didn't necessarily like, but I think those are personal issues. And so, yeah, I still overall really enjoyed this book. My rating is going to sit at about a 3.5. Honestly, if I gave quarter stars, it would probably be a 3.75, but because I don't fully think that it is a 4 star just comparing it to other 4 stars. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go with a 3.5. I would like to start off by talking about mono. And I think I mentioned this in the previous clip, but I don't really care for how Mono was the kind of voice of reason for multiple characters throughout this. He wasn't just like a teenager running around doing crazy things and like, getting into people's lives and, doing stuff that he shouldn't do. And I think that's the vibe that it was kind of going for, but the things that he was doing were a little much, okay? And, there were multiple times where he stepped in and the way he said things kind of sounded like someone who was older, and he didn't really feel like a teenager to me. And he is the one making everybody act like they have some sense in a way. And I'm like, he shouldn't have to step in between Kai and their parents, to make their parents act like they have some sense. He shouldn't Mono shouldn't be the one to do that as a teenager. In my opinion, I just don't think that's fair to Mono to have to step into that role. Hmm. And just some of the obvious things that Kai knows about himself and knows that he needs to do, and he won't do it. Like, I feel like Mono should have been Kai's best friend, the one that was his business partner. I feel like if their roles in the story were reversed, I would have liked it a little better because we didn't see a lot from the business partner. He was just kind of in and out, but Mono was the one making the moves. And yeah, I didn't like that for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe it was triggering and I haven't come to that realization yet. but something about it just didn't sit right with me. I am not a fan of miscommunication, which I feel like most of us aren't, but it makes it even worse when there's miscommunication and the person doesn't get to explain what actually happened. Like I really dislike it when people don't give the person a chance to explain. Like, at least give them a chance to explain, and then if you don't believe them, then fine, then we can be all dramatic and have this whole outburst of a situation. But like, so many situations in just romance books in general could be solved by having a conversation right after the miscommunication happens, but people refuse to let people explain. It's just miscommunication that's gonna irritate me every time. And no matter what the book is, I don't think that there is a way to do miscommunication well. I just don't think that's possible. So yes, that second epilogue. Why is it that all romance epilogues have to do that thing? Like, not everybody wants that. Not everybody can have that. Like, it's a very touchy subject for romance books to just be all throwing them into the epilogues. And maybe I should just stop reading epilogues at this point, because they all piss me off when they do that. Like, and then like, I thought I was okay because it had a first epilogue and it wasn't in there. And I was like, oh, are we actually getting a book that doesn't do that? Lies, because there was a second epilogue that did it. And I'm just like, why do you have to do that? Like, that is such a sensitive topic, a triggering thing. Like, not everybody even wants that. So why is it so hard to find romances that don't do that? It gives me the ick a little bit. It does. And so overall, I think that The Holidays is a really great story where two people who have really had a tough time at life and have had these very soul crushing heartbreaks decide to take a chance on each other and be there for each other in a way that I think is very beautiful, and I think others can really connect to. And so I definitely think that this is something that I will recommend going forward. I think it's a great, beautiful love story. So moving forward, I started a physical book and then I started an ebook, well, an e-arc, because I couldn't hold the physical book anymore. So I am reading these at the same time, but I think I am going to, like I always do, keep everything split up by the books. So you won't see me giving comments on them, back and forth. You'll see all of the first book and all of the second book. And I think I am going with the physical book first. So yeah, let's get into these and see what happens. Hopefully, I still feel like I feel better, but it's the congestion for me, and I that's kind of the worst part in my opinion. Like, just being congested. Other than like when I have a sore throat, like that's gonna take me out. A sore throat would make me act like the biggest baby. But also, like, I hate being congested. Like, it's gross. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm dealing with right now. Thank goodness that it's not anything serious. Y'all know things are going around and people are just getting sick, and I don't have that great of an immune system, and I just had to go be around a lot of people at a funeral, and I knew that I was coming back with something. Like, I just know, even though I tried to, like, wear a mask and all that, like, when you're crying and snotting at a funeral, you can't really have a mask on because you can't breathe in it. I tried and failed. So, yeah, I knew I was coming back with somebody's crud. I did, because that's just how my immune system works, or lack thereof, with all of my chronic illness things going on. So I'm glad it was just, it was just this little bit, and I'm hoping that, going forward, it doesn't come back or it doesn't get any worse. Okay, I'm done rambling now. Bye. Good morning, friends. I am freezing cold, and I guess you can tell that by the way I'm wrapped up in this blanket. But anyway, I wanted to talk to y'all about, I can't get it together. I know I look ridiculous, but just just disregard. I wanted to talk to y'all about Most Wonderful by Georgia Clark because I am like 50-ish%, maybe a little bit more, like 55% into this book. And I think I have a handle of what's going on. Okay, so in this, we're following three siblings who share the same mom but different dads. And for various reasons, all three of them have ended up going to their mom's Catskills mansion earlier than they normally do for the Christmas season. So we have Liz, who is the oldest daughter, the responsible one, the one who, handles all the business, does everything the air quote right way. And she is a showrunner for a really popular show on a streaming service that has just finished its first season, and she's supposed to be coming up with ideas for the second season, but she is struggling to do so because she is very distracted by her crush on the show's star. So she is going back and forth between wanting to pursue something with this person, Violet, and knowing that they need to keep a professional relationship. And so she's kind of running away from Violet, or so she thinks, and goes to Catskills to kind of work on some ideas and have something to show when she comes back, because she kind of has to. And she has no ideas currently. And then we have the middle child whose name is Birdie. And Birdie is very unserious about life. She's a comedian and she has been struggling to recreate the magic of her first special, hourly special. And her manager has basically dumped her because she doesn't take life serious. She's too busy, hooking up with women and missing sets that she has been, booked for. So, yeah, she is just a hot mess right now. And so she agrees to go up early with Liz to kind of work on this hour special and kind of show her manager that she is serious. So maybe she'll want to hire her back. Or if that doesn't work, she'll need to find a new manager. And she has to prove that she has something for anyone to want to work with her. And finally, we have our golden boy, Rafi, who loves love and is just, a very, I don't want to say emotional because I feel like sometimes that has a negative connotation, but in this case, it doesn't. He wears his feelings on his heart sleeves. He loves love. And he recently proposed to his girlfriend. They worked together, and so he decided to propose to her at the holiday Christmas. What? At the holiday party, and she turned him down, saying that she didn't think that they were actually like that serious. They were more on a casual level. And so he is shooketh because he thought that this girl was the love of his life. LOL, my microphone died. But I think I was saying that Rafi saw that Rocky thought that this girl was like the love of his life and that he was imagining, building a life together with her and getting married and all these things. And she obviously did not feel the same way. She thought they were more on a casual route and she doesn't want these things. So she decides that it's best that they break up because, they just don't want the same things in the end. So what's the point of even just continuing to be together after this proposal? Because yeah, that's weird. So yeah, I am just wondering if by the time I finish this, I'm going to feel that it was overly ambitious to try to follow each of these siblings, not only through their love story, but also through their life story, jobs, careers, all the things that are going on. And I think, or it could be me just overthinking, but I think something is going on with their mother as well. And yeah, it feels like a lot, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because sometimes I like hopping around and, it kind of scratches my brain the right way to just jump from story to story. And yeah, I'm not sure. I will say that I am not disliking this. I am enjoying my time with this book. So I think it's just a matter of how much I'm going to like it. And I think that is all going to be dependent upon how we wrap it up. I think my only criticism at this point is that it's feeling a little long already. But I do understand with us following so many stories within this story that it is going to need to be a little lengthy to fully get the what am I trying to say? Goodness. You can tell it is morning and I have not had coffee yet. I understand that it will need to be longer to fully flesh out each of these stories. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I really just wanted to update, even though I know that I didn't have like full cohesive thoughts on this. I'm kind of just making my way through it. And, those are the hardest books to talk about because, like I said, I'm not disliking it, but I'm not like overly excited about it. And I don't really have a lot to say about it. So it's hard to talk about, but I feel like I will have more things to say once I finish. I'm just trying to give it a chance and see what it's going to do. And then that's what I'm going to decide. And I am done rambling because that is all I have been doing for however long this clip is. And yeah, and I'm just going to go. See you when I finish and hopefully have something else to say. Alrighty, so I have finished Most Wonderful, and oddly enough, I don't really feel like I have any more thoughts than what I said before, which is weird because I don't really feel like I said anything. So let me see. I think that here's what I will say. I think that Georgia Clark really did a good job giving us 3 separate love stories and making sure that we were able to not only tell the siblings apart, but also be able to tell the love interest apart and be able to, immediately recognize like which love story you're in and making them so different. Also, I really enjoyed that this was a fully queer rom-com holiday situation, and I it felt authentic. It didn't feel forced because sometimes things feel forced and I'm glad that this didn't. I do feel like everything ended as it should, and there weren't any like overly miscommunication type moments, which I really enjoy because y'all know how I feel about miscommunication. And I think the atmosphere of this one was really great. Wintry small town at this big mansion and stuff. It was cute in that way. Liz, Birdie, and Rafi really had a good sibling relationship in my opinion. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say. I think it was a good time. I do think it stands out as being an all queer holiday rom-com, but does it stand out in just the plethora of books that I've read this year? I don't think so. There wasn't anything wrong with this book, but there wasn't anything that was overly right that I want to just scream, cry, yell, throw up about. So for me, I think I'm going to rate this a 3.5. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm just not like overly in love with it. And I don't even know what I would change. So I'm just very middle of the road about this book, and I don't have a lot to say. And I kind of hate when that happens. I would rather like really dislike a book or really love a book than just have these whatever kind of feelings towards it, because I don't really feel like I can give you like a coherent review. But I guess if you're asking me if I would recommend this, I would. I, yeah, that's sorry that this was pretty crappy. But yeah, that that's just how I feel. So yeah. Okay, y'all. So I am about, let me check so I don't lie to you. I am at chapter 14, page 140 of Girl Serpent Thorn, and I can tell you what is going on now. So in this, we're following Soraya, who is the princess in this world, but she was cursed at birth. Well, technically, her mother was cursed, and this curse said that the firstborn daughter would be cursed. Okay. And so Soraya's touch is poisonous. So because of that, she is hidden away in the castle. She has to wear these gloves all the time. She doesn't get to be out and get to be, even really a person. There are a few people who know about her, but for the most part, she has to travel through these like tunnels and little pathways that are in the castle. She doesn't really get to interact with anybody or anything like that, and she has to watch her twin brother and the only friend that she has ever really had like move on with their lives and grow up and do all the things that she wants to do, but she's not able to do because of her poisonous touch. And there is this guy named Azad that kind of comes to the palace. He saved the prince, her twin brother, whose name is Sarush. And yeah, so Azad saved him on their journey, and he is now like a member of the guard or something like that. Um, and he notices Soraya kind of standing out on the balcony, and like nobody ever like looks up to like find her or notice her or anything. So of course she is, taken aback by this attention and enjoying it, and he is not afraid of her, and so she is enjoying that as well. So they team up and go on a little mission to try to remove Soraya's curse, and some things happen and a bunch of stuff that I'm leaving out, but I don't want to spoil anything. So I feel like that's pretty much all I can say. I think the synopsis of this is actually really vague. Yeah. So basically, we are following Soraya as she decides to be selfish and decides to not even like be afraid of who she is or what she is anymore, and kinds of steps into the role that she has basically been thrust upon, and she finds out some secrets about her curse. And yeah, I think this is based in like Persian culture, because I was reading a little bit of the like author's note, but I didn't want to read too far because there are some spoilers. But um let's see. One of the novel's major influences is the Persian epic, the Book of Kings. So yeah, this is very interesting, and I love learning about different cultures. And I don't even know that this was Persian when I picked it up, but yeah, I am really enjoying learning about Persian culture through the what is going on, and I'm having a really good time with this. Like, I ain't eating this up. Like, your girl has annotated quite a bit. Like, look at all of those tabs. I don't even know if you can see them, but your girl is tabbing everything up. And this is not even a long book. I think it's just over 300 pages. So I should be flying through this, right? I'm not. This was one, I think it was the first book that I started for this vlog, and I have finished both Most Wonderful and what is even in this vlog at this point? I think it's Most Wonderful and the Holidays, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I finished both of those and I've moved on to other things for other vlogs. Here's the thing. Like I said, I am eating this book up when I'm reading it. But for some strange reason, I can't get with physical reading right now. Like, and that's bothering me because what do you mean I can't read my physical books right now? I have not read one physical book all month. Like, this is the first one that I've picked up and I've tried to read, and I'm struggling. But I am flying through audiobooks and ebooks. And so I went to Libby to see if they had this in either form, and they did not. And the audiobook is not on erin, and I'm not about to buy the audiobook, so I'm just going to take my time. I'm a little bit under halfway, I think. And so what's gonna happen, and I hate to do this, but it just is what it is at this point, because this is bookmas and I need to get this vlog out because I am not behind yet and I have not missed an upload yet, and I don't plan on it. Okay, so y'all are just gonna have to let this be the end of the vlog as far as reading goes. And I have told you my thoughts about Girl, Serpent, Thorn, and I will pick it up in the next reading vlog because I plan to do one more bookmasy type thing because I have a couple more holiday books that I want to finish up for this season, and I will finish telling you my thoughts in that next reading vlog. I think it'll be sometime next week or something like that. But yeah, I'm sorry, but that's just, it's what's, I have no idea why I can't get through physical books right now, but like that's the bulk of my reading because I mostly read from my physical TBR. So me not really jiving with physical books is throwing me for a loop right now because what, I don't even want to think about it. Like I have my little wrap up shelf where I like keep the books that I've read throughout the month, and there's nothing in it. There's nothing in it, and I've read at least 6 books this month at this point. So you see what I'm saying? It's stressing me out, and I don't like looking at that shelf and it being empty because it makes me feel like I haven't read anything, even though I know I've read 6 books already this month. I guess I should just be happy that I am reading and it's not actually like a slump or anything, but it kind of feels like a slump because I think I enjoy reading physically most, and I'm struggling to do that currently. But anyway, yeah. So, with all that being said, let us do a quick wrap up for this video. I'm acting like my memory is actually good, and we know it's not. That we know my memory is not good. So, let me pull up what was actually in this vlog. I feel like my brain is doing so many different things at one time with bookmas, trying to make sure all these videos are getting out that I don't even know what goes where anymore. So if I didn't have it like really organized and written down, it wouldn't be happening. It would not. Okay. So in this vlog, we read The Holidays, and that was a 3.5 star. And we also read Most Wonderful, that was also a 3.5 star. Very different from our first bookmas reading vlog, but I knew that was going to happen. And yeah, we are still currently reading Girl, Serpent, Thorn. I'll give you my thoughts on that in the next vlog. And to keep from rambling on some more, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for doing bookmas with me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I hope that you have the best day that you possibly can and the best holiday season, no matter what you celebrate. And be sure to check out my socials in the description box. And yeah, I will catch you in the next video. Bye.